again, this is Brandon Larson. I own Insurance Engine Inc. I've been in the insurance industry for 25 plus years, written over 30 million in premiums, been agency of the month 16 plus times. So I've actually taken a step back from insurance, but in the agency side. So I'm building it's a proprietary patent pending technology that you upload a document. It's, all the AI tools, they all assist with things, and my platform structures the document so it can nearly immediately be able to be serviced. You upload a document. I mean, I've uploaded a 93 vehicle policy, and it loaded 93 vehicles and 54 drivers into my platform automatically from the document that's been uploaded. I just did a 20 vehicle version with 12 drivers, 20 lost payees. So like, the more information you provide my system, it assists your agency nearly immediately be able to service your customer. So your CSRs can get to the next renewals and stay ahead of the schedule. Instead of reactive, being proactive. That is the problem that I am on the goal to solve. Thank you so much for joining or allowing me to join you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandon.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Glad to have you. Sue, you already went initially before everybody joined. Do you mind quickly introducing yourself again and about your business?
No problem. So I'm Sue Hutchins. I'm with Renaissance Alliance. We are a agency network or aggregator. We provide a number of services beyond premium aggregation and enhanced compensation for our members. We have developed an AI division within our organization and tools for our members to be able to use AI that are in a closed environment. And it is automatically included as becoming a member. We currently offer what we call a coverage compare tool. We're going to be rolling out a proposal builder that will integrate with that in a few weeks. We have an AI assistant. We have a renewal comparer that we're developing, and some other tools. So we're hyper focused on AI. Our members are asking for it. They want integration. They want a trusted resource with guardrails and where their data is protected, and that's what we're working on providing for them.
I just want to apologize. I lost power.
Oh.
So I had to get on, and I'm like, okay, Kristen, don't panic. I got on my hotspot and reconnected. Thank God the laptop's charged.
Great, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Thanks again. Bruce, do you want to go next? Bruce is from California. It's early for him.
I'm a Allstate agent, so I'm here just to learn about what is going on in the AI space that we can use. I'm a captive, so we're fairly limited, but still interested to see what can be done out there. Typical agency, I've got 5 CSRs, 7 sales reps, 4 telemarketers. So pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, that's
you.
where I.
Oh, and I've got a hard stop. I got to drop at 10:30.
Oh, thank you, Bruce. Yeah. All right, Hiral, if you want to go next.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi everyone. This is Hiral Pathak. I am from Pathak Insurance. I am a broker, so I represent, I think, around 14 to 15 companies. I have 6 CSRs, 2 producers, and operated in around 7 to 8 states. This is like a family-based business. My father-in-law started this agency, and he retired. He was doing health insurance alone, and then I added property casualty, and I took over him in 2015. And this is like, it's been going on from last 16, 17 years. And before that, I was like a producer agent for Allstate for a good couple of years. And then I started my own agency.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hiral. Amy? Amy, can you hear us?
Okay. I think I've got the microphone on.
You
Yes.
do.
Yeah, thank you.
I am independent. I've been independent since 2013. I'm a pretty small agency. There's only 5 of us, 5 people in my agency, 2 virtual assistants and a sales producer. Before that, I had an Allstate agency from 2002 to 2013. Just trying to figure out more about AI.
All right.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for joining.
My agency, just so you know, was small also. I think there was 5 of us. I merged with another company. I was part of Renaissance for many, many years. Loved it. Great organization. But yeah, mine was a small agency too, but that doesn't mean that we can't have the technology and the operations of a big one, especially now with AI and what it can do for you. So, hold on to your seat.
Great.
That is right. Hold on to your seat.
Great. Maybe
So-
Amy and Bruce maybe can exchange some notes on Allstate.
Yeah. Are we good for
Yes,
introductions?
you're good.
Okay.
Go ahead, Christine. Yes.
All right. So, we're looking at the state of the insurance industry and AI. Most of what we're hearing about AI right now is happening at the carrier level, underwriting claims, pricing, analytics, but we're not seeing a whole bunch in the agency side. Most teams are still operating manually. So, some of the things that we're seeing that can be done is the opportunities is underwriting claims to service. Every function has AI automation potential, but most agencies are at step 1. And I've seen this at the conventions that I've been at, where how many people are using ChatGPT, and there's only 3 of them or 4 of them in a room full. Lessons from the industry. The person is still central. So there was an impact with Anthropic that Rashish is going to tell you about. I didn't know about this. He was telling me earlier.
Yeah, it's just a lesson from the general industry, right? Anthropic is one of the major companies that are building large language models. ChatGPT, pretty much everybody knows. They run the company is OpenAI. But Anthropic is another company that builds large models, and their model is called Claude, right? Even today, there was a news about them releasing a security-based model that is really apparently more powerful than some of the security softwares available. Then you saw like 20 different stocks down at least 5% down, right, in terms of stock. 2 weeks ago, the same thing happened. And a couple of months ago, the coding engine got so good that people thought anybody could develop a software, right? Software that you use daily, Claude can spin it up within a few days or even a day. And then all the software services stock came down. So that's what is happening in the industry, but every single day there's something happening. Yeah, Brandon, you had something?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was just kind of my shoulders. I'm
stretching.
but I wasn't raising my
Got
hand.
it.
My apologies.
So that is from the models itself, the companies that are building these AI models that are becoming more and more powerful. Kristen, you have a couple of examples from healthcare and prison, right?
Yeah, I do. So, AI assists human decide, and that should be our standard, right? So, but I've seen some cases that were really amazing also in computer vision. One was with a prison, and in that prison with the computer vision, they can detect the exact moment where the situation turns aggressive or the prisoners touch each other, it will trigger an immediate response to the guards to come and handle that. So not after the incident, not at the, it's at the first signal of it happening. And that's what the shift is going to be. And now bring that into insurance. What could we do? What could we do? Can we detect the first signs of a claim going sideways? Indication of fraud. The first sign a customer is about to escalate. That's not automation. That's de-escalation. So another thing I had when I took my class at Johns Hopkins, my professor, Ian McCullough, he had built an AI-driven analysis to predict the compatibility of kidney donation for the patient, and he was able to save 3,000 kidneys from being discarded in 1 year. He also spoke about AI finding lung cancer that doctors aren't finding, and they're finding that anomaly. Another example they gave was at Disney World. They want to keep their parks clean. It's a simple thing. They put a sensor in the garbage cans. So now, the sensor goes off, the employee goes to that area, right? So simple little things that you can think of to help your operation. And that's how we have to think about it for insurance. So, beyond ChatGPT, it's not just about the prompts. It's about connecting the entire workflow from intake to renewal to follow-up. So you want to build for how agencies actually operate, all within insurance context built in and not just a text box. So I want to know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but where does your agency fall on that scale? And, what's holding you back? We have some
use cases as well. Yeah.
Well, no, on the screen, it shows like your stage. Where are you? You could drop in just tell us where you are. Not started, you're experimenting. And it doesn't matter because, just as like you being on the conversation is important because everyone needs to start learning, and we need to start upskilling our team, because our team, we want them to be involved in, helping people protect their risk. That's what our job is. So we don't want to be doing the tasks.
Yeah, Brandon had something.
Yes, thank you so much. So, as I kind of took a step back and I realized insurance doesn't have a data problem. The problem I'm resolving is it has a document problem. Like the more information you can provide my platform, okay? It's an AMS based, it's a agency management system that I'm in the middle of, I'm about to be able to launch this. And I actually have them pulled up where I can upload my document, 20 vehicles, 12 drivers, 20 loss payees, 5 general liability classifications, 2 property locations, and my platform inputs the data on your CSRs, on your producer's account. So the post-bind friction is not going to be, where it's got to be rebuilt after the producer enters it in for 1 carrier, 2 carriers, 3 carriers. They're entering all that information, but then you can't service that account. You'd have to re-enter it another time or wait for the download.
So absolutely, rekeying, that's going to be one of the biggest things, and we're going to talk about that in the next slide. I think it's the next slide, the real use cases, because it's really amazing what we can do. And rekeying information across carrier portals, agency management systems, email and spreadsheets. I mean, I was working in Claude Codeworker, Coworker yesterday, playing around in it. And, you got to be very careful. You don't want to put your private information in there, but you could organize tons of things in there. Producers are spending 2 to 3 hours on prospecting, on data, and not on client relationships. So that's where we need to change that with AI, not replace anyone.
Kristen Hiral says she's between stage 2 and 3.
Okay.
In terms of AI adoption,
That's good. That's really good.
That's good. Hiral, do you have any
Can't see the
other?
chat bot, so you're, or the chat, so you're gonna have to tell me.
Yeah, I'm watching the chat. Yeah, Hiral, do you have any other input from the state of the industry where we are and where you would like to go?
With the help of Rajesh and his team, I was struggling with my leads management. So they helped me with that. They created one software and they helped me with that. On the carrier side, so a couple of CS, like I use EasyLinks. They are doing an amazing job. Like they came up with one unique feature where I want to see for any of my client, I just have to type in 2 words and they will up to date me with the whole year, with the whole client portfolio. On a on a daily basis, on a day-to-day communication with our client, I use Gemini and HubSpot. There also I am using those features. So now my workload and my CSR's workload has gone down to kind of figuring out all the details within our agency, within our Gmail and our portfolio, as well as we pull a lot of detail because I do personal side. So we do pull a lot of details from county websites and all. So from there also Gemini helps us to kind of pull all the details and provide us in fraction of seconds. So we are learning, but we are trying our best to learn all the AI tools from wherever we can use.
Well, you know, you don't want to, it's also about your workflow. So you want to look at your workflow first. You want to look at the clarity of what you're doing, and then you want to bring in the automation and add the intelligence. So, you know, it's a lot. I see a lot of agencies looking at a lot of tools. So, you know, the first thing is to look at your operations and your clarity, and how do we bring those tools in that is going to make us amplify our employees, amplify our knowledge without breaking trust with the clients that we've had for all these years. So, you know, starting small and starting one workflow at a time is the right way to do it, and not overdo yourself with all the tools. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I would second that, Kristen, because what I see a lot is that there's lots of shiny objects, meaning AI tools out there that are attracting everybody's attention. Nobody knows what to trust or what's going to work for them. And what I find in working with the members at Renaissance is, you know, and I wish I had $1 for every time I asked an agency owner, you know, if I was a new hire in your agency, what resources would you provide me to teach me how to do my job? And I usually get a version of something like, well, we don't really have anything written down. We don't really have a formal program, which really leads to they don't have any SOPs, standard operating procedures. They don't have them written down, which in my mind is a major problem.
Huge.
If you don't have the foundation or the structure in place to begin with, you're really not going to see any success by trying all these different AI tools. You really have to know what your current operational systems look like, where the pain points and the friction is, and then identify what tools are out there that could work best. And most of the agents that I work with are all leaning into tools that integrate easily and well with their agency management systems.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely do agree with that. The all the tools that are integrated with agency management system, that will definitely assist. So it's going to be a big driving factor for certain things, and really even integrations into my site, like what I want to do, you know, what I want to add in, because I'm in the process of going for my SOC2 type 2, you know, filing for security, and have all the AI implementation questions answered, and it's all spread out on a 14-page, you know, very detailed document. So like I'm ahead of everything. I'm waiting on Accord forms to be integrated. They sent it to me here on March 26th, effective March 1st. I'm like, I'm not going backwards. I need access to the platform and the products to be integrated into my site before I can do that. I don't want to put myself out there in the public until my platform is able to assist agencies. So like, I want to have pilot agencies, you know, that test.
Well, you have to. Testing is so important over and over again. You have to constantly test and make sure that your security is, that's the biggest thing as I worry about is the security. So go ahead, Raj.
Hey, I know Bruce has a hard stop in 5 minutes, so I want to let Bruce go, and then we'll talk about real use cases, and then we can come back to the other topics.
Okay, sounds good. Bruce?
I got 4 more minutes. I'll hang on here, and I'll just drop off.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
We can go forward with the, the use cases. So what we're seeing in service and account management, there's AI receptions. They handle the inbound calls, routes, queries, captures, intakes 24/7, renewal automation, proactive, reaching out 120, 190, 60 days, billing and coverage bots. And my favorite part is the searchable knowledge base. And I think that when people look at the knowledge base, they think of it as a search, right? So, but it's not about searching. It's about giving your team access to the right answers every time. And right now, when a question comes in, one of 3 things happen. They guess, they interrupt someone, or they go digging through their email and their PDF searching for it. My favorite thing was Control F. When I found Control F, I thought it was the best thing ever. One of my things, right? And, this is like Control F on steroids. And this is where inconsistency and risk shows up when everyone has a different answer. So a knowledge layer changes that. And I think this is one area where it can bring into any agency right away is something quick that they can use. Your team can ask the same question they'd ask a manager and get an approved answer instantly. And that means faster responses, more confidence across your team, and consistent answers every time. And this is important. Consistency isn't just efficiency, it's risk management. So, that's some of the knowledge base I think is going to be a game changer for agencies, being able to put that into the systems. And then on the producer, go ahead.
Yeah, we've categorized into one, the service aspect. What can AI bring for the service managers or account managers? And then on the producer side. So there's this clear distinction. So go ahead, Kristen, you can talk about the producers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when I think about producers, I don't think about them, this is really where AI changes the game for the producer, and it's important because it's not about replacing them. It's going to be able to increase advisory value and not replace it. Right now, producers spend a huge time chasing information, and transferring the information. That's one of our biggest failures in insurance, is going from one person to another person. So, all of that stuff. And that's not where their value is. AI handles the heavy lifting, pulling policies, comparing coverages, coverage gaps, and aligning carrier appetite. So instead of spending hours gathering information, they can spend time advising their client. And that's where the shift's going to be. They're going to be moving from reactive and transactional to being proactive and strategic. They walk into conversations already knowing where the gaps are, what needs to be addressed, and where the best placements are. So that's what increases the close rate, and that's what's going to build trust. And that's what actually differentiates an agency today. So AI is not going to replace the advisor. It's going to finally give them the time and the insight to do what they're supposed to do. So, look at all those examples on that are possible right now with producers, the lead generation, policy scraping and analysis. How about when the certificate comes in and you can compare the contract to the policy, or even just pull out the information for that account manager to say, this is what I need to get. This is what I need to make sure, my client has. And if he doesn't, I'll be able to get something quickly. And then it's going to find exactly where in the policy that person needs to go and look and read. So they don't have to go searching for it after they get the answer. They just click and it brings it to them. So they can double check the answer that was given to them. But with a knowledge base, it really should be based on the knowledge that is your agency and what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
you know, the customer 360, being able to see that full account view that you mentioned, being the policies, the claims, the history. So all that's going to be possible. Fraud detection, AI is really good at pattern recognition. So that's going to be huge. And then appointment scheduling. So when you're not there and someone's sitting at home and they want to make an appointment, you know, building an intake that can take the information, not the private information, and hand it off to the agent in the morning so that they're already prepared, bringing in the property coverage, you know, the property information coverage from the sites, the town cards, the property cards. So that's being pulled in. So that's not another place they need to go. So all those little things that we're connecting systems. And
Yeah,
and that's
in terms of,
go
yeah,
ahead.
and so just another point to add, fraud detection, you know, that's becoming a major problem because you can use AI to generate fake images too, right? You can generate fake images that your basement is flooded or some part of your building is broken, and then submit a claim. So the more we use AI to detect these frauds, the better. So AI can be, you know, it can be a two-way sword there. Just to add a few other points on the customer 360, we have, yeah. So this is these are the other things that we can bring to table with customer 360. Looking at a policy, a set of policies, and see where the gaps are, and maybe the customer needs umbrella coverage if they have 2 homes and 3 different cars, right? So that's another view that we are bringing, that we are seeing in the industry, and agents and brokers adopt this AI for customer 360. Now, typically, that means increase in policies per household from average of 2.3 to 4.5. And only a small percentage of actual coverage, insurance that can be covered is covered. I think it was less than 10%, and you have 90% upswing for insurance coverage there. I just wanted to show a couple of things on the use cases. This is the data entry piece. You know, rekeying is one thing that we hear over and over again. We have spoken to at least 20 and having to rekey the same data through multiple carrier portals is a common problem, and that can be addressed using automation and AI. This example shows a policy. Brandon, you brought it up. A document, you can just scan the document. One of our tools does it, but we're not here to sell that tool. Just discussing use cases, right? You can scan the document, and the AI captures all the data, like details about the applicants, drivers, they have 2 vehicles, the coverage that they have today. All of that is captured. And if you want to quote from multiple carriers, all you need to do is open the portal and then just paste these values into the portal, right? So it's 95% of rekeying is taken away. So this is on the data entry piece. And from a customer policy 360 I just covered earlier, once you scan the same type of document or even look at an existing policy they have, AI can be used to analyze from a broader perspective what are the gaps. So in this case, this is a policy that has you know, home, umbrella, and auto. AI identifies the coverage gaps. Here it says the home policy does not cover flood loss, right? So this is an intelligence that AI can bring to the table, and the agent communicate to the customer to provide additional coverage. So just wanted to cover those 2 real use cases that we're seeing in the industry. Go ahead, Christine. Is that something you guys are seeing as well? Just want to get your thoughts, all of your thoughts as well.
I did see I saw your comment, Brandon, about the data. You know, data has to be clean. If it's not clean and it's not ready, it's not going to work. I mean, so that's one of the things, you know, and that's part of operations. So and that's what you have to, you know, look at before you bring those tools in. You need to make sure that they're ready for them. Yeah. Because it could increase risk if you're
It amplifies that bad data.
right, it amplifies that data. So you're, you know, absolutely, the data has to be good data.
Yes, absolutely. It definitely has to be structured well, and it really is. So
It's amazing how much
love what
we
I
can
am
do with
seeing,
unstructured
so.
documents too. But
Yeah, it has been, I mean, you know, between all these different, the more data that you can provide, just to kind of give you an example, like CSR friction, where a producer wins a big account. And then now the work begins for the CSR, where they got to enter everything all over again to be serviceable.
yeah,
The loss payees, you know, so, you know, and then underwriting, loss runs, all those things. I mean, that's a little bit of a different, you know, but that's just from the previous insurance agent. That the more data you provide in my platform, the more the less I should say it better, rephrasing that, the less information you have to enter into the portal. I mean, 20 loss payees, the more certificates of insurance your agency has issued previously, or, you know, if you can provide documents that they need a certificate of insurance and you upload it in my platform, it's going to load them as a loss payee or an additional interest to issue a certificate for.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, anyone else have anything?
Yeah. Amy, I don't think you had a chance to talk about your agency and where your team is losing hours. If you're willing to just let us know, just share, please do.
I don't have enough information, really. I have 2 virtual assistants, and I don't know how much they're using AI. I use it for composing emails to customers. I use it to research coverages and mostly to compose emails. So I'm kind of just on the edge of using AI. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great. And that's exactly, you know, just the knowledge base could be something that could be huge for you, because again, you're looking up that information instead on ChatGPT. Well, let's get it from actual documents that are insurance related, so that you're getting that information, you know, that knowledge directly from where that information should be coming from. And then you include AI for other things.
And I've only used ChatGPT. I am a member of some insurance agent groups, and I know they talk about a lot of the younger people are more advanced on using AI, and they talk about Claude and some other.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, seems like it's growing rapidly.
But you should just pick one. They're all competing against each other. I think, you know, I don't know, maybe one's going to come above the other, but I swear one day it's ChatGPT. Right now, I think it's Claude. But you can't afford to have every tool out there. So, you know, that's just my thought. And it's hard to learn them all. So start with one and start asking questions. See what it can do for you. Just don't put any private information in there.
Yeah, Claude asks, you know, you need to kind of give it why you're doing, like, you need to give it like a whole synopsis of like a process. You need to kind of, you know, walk it through what you're looking and, you know, what you're looking to resolve in the long run, big picture type thing. And then it analyzes it. It kind of gives you mixed messaging when you just give it like what you would give ChatGPT, how ChatGPT, you know, answers everything. Claude, you know, you need to kind of give it a little bit more of a structure of a request.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, Amy, for sharing that. If you're thinking about adopting AI or thinking what AI can do for me, you know, we can spend a couple of hours or an hour or so to just understand your workflow and just give you options, right? Options where you can use AI. So it could be just a free 1 to 2 hour session, and then you can take it from there, right? So that's something we want to offer while you are there, and because you're already thinking about using AI.
And the only way you're going to know where it's going to fit into your agency is to figure out those pain points and go from there. So
yeah, absolutely. So even without AI, right? AI can solve problems. Just wanted to get everybody's thoughts on where you think is your team losing hours, right? Doing the same repetitive tasks maybe, or losing leads, or losing customers who are yet to renew or could have renewed, right? Those type of things. So where is your team spending most hours?
I
Yeah.
think that the main, so sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off, but
No, go ahead, Bhavan. Go ahead.
where you get, I mean, where your CSRs lose the most time is they have a schedule that they want to get out renewals today, 7 next week. They want to stay ahead of those renewals on that curve for next week's renewals. All those should already be done and ready for the producer
like
to go meet
30
with
to 90
in
days
person.
ahead of time, right? Yeah.
So, and that's where the producer, like it's a producer wins a new account. The CSR gets taken off of their tasks of their daily, what they were planning to do that day, and has to manually re-enter 93 vehicles, 54 drivers, there's 72 lost payees. That is a multiple day project.
right, and that doesn't have to be anymore. It's amazing. So yeah. The 90, 60, 30 day touch point, and it's all automatic. And then you can set it up into a cadence. So they're getting contacted, year round during the holidays. And you're really, I mean, the biggest part of our job is our renewals. That's where our money comes from. Obviously we want to write new business. We want to grow. But you also grow by retaining your clients, because obviously, prices go up normally, they don't go down.
Retention is the numeral uno.
Yeah,
What your
absolutely.
retention result.
And the other thing that it's going to be great at is as lead, gathering those leads when you're not there at work. People want to do their stuff when they're home. So if you can stop that lead decay and get that client in, speed to lead is the biggest thing right now. And the first structured response is going to win the business.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all, all the things. And we're putting our service workers, our account managers, they're doing, tasks that we don't want them to do. We want them to spend time advising. We want them to spend time cross-selling. We want them to spend time upselling. We want them to listen to the client instead of jumping off the call because they got to get to their next transaction, right? We want them to, so if we can give them back that time to be able to do that, our team is going to be so much better, and they're going to be so much happier, because I know that my account managers, are always looking for how can we figure this out to make it easier for you, because they're going home and they're just got so much on their backs. So if we can make that better, then our retention is going to get better with our employees too. If we can make it a balanced workplace where they're not freaking out from one task to the next. And that's what AI is going to be able to help us do. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I find and I think about, because I know that our turnover in our industry has not been great, especially in the last few years since COVID. I don't know what you've seen, Sue, but I think that if they're happier, they're going to stay. And I think this is one way we can do it.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, so all of our members at one time or another are experiencing issues with staffing. Obviously, virtual assistants have become a huge part of the back office operation. So a lot of stuff that is non-customer facing, non-revenue generating has fallen onto AIs. Some are better than others, but there are a lot of AI, a lot of virtual assistants are starting to use AI tools. And one of the things that I think is worth mentioning, although it's not very sexy and not fun, is that agencies really need to have what I would call an AI acceptable use policy as part of their agency plan, because what we're seeing is that even agencies that have not truly jumped into the AI pool, their teammates are actually using AI. They're using ChatGPT, they're using Claude, they're using these other tools, and they're not using paid versions. So they're putting the agency's personal private client information in public tools. And there was an example that was shared with me a few weeks ago where an agent went in to ask an AI tool what payment plans are available for Erie Insurance. And what they got back was not only the payment plans, but they actually got back a full copy of a deck and policy of an actual insured, unredacted. So somebody somewhere along the line had dumped that information in, and when this person went in and did the search, it showed up as an attachment. So I think it's important that you have some kind of an acceptable use policy, even if you don't have formal AI tools, because your teammates, the folks that are working for you, are probably using them and you don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, education for the staff is going to be one of the biggest things that we need to implement in every agency, and then having a governance policy of what's allowed to, who's making those decisions, who's accountable for when it goes wrong. All of those things need to be brought into the situation before you're, I mean, obviously we want to implement, but we have to implement safely. And what you said, Sue, is absolutely correct, because people are going to put in the wrong information and they need to know how serious it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think security is and should be number one when you look at implementing a solution, and even an AI solution. And that's why we take security very seriously.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
In terms of the leave decay, Kristen, you touched upon it. I just want to throw out one option for that is using an AI receptionist, where it could handle the calls when you cannot take the calls, right? Outside of office hours or weekends, or when you're on vacation, you can configure an AI receptionist to handle the calls and capture the data, right, from your leads. So when you look at your system, you can have a comprehensive view of what the customer is asking for. So you can talk to the customer intelligently when you call back. So that's another AI use case in addition to the one that we talked about, with manual data entry and then avoiding repetitive tasks, and looking at a policy and comprehensively view what is missing, what else is missing, right? So we showed that those two screenshots for those two use cases. So in addition to that, I wanted to bring up this AI receptionist, where you can set it up to handle calls for you.
I've seen some of those out there too on the market. They're pretty amazing. So, and the voice is pretty amazing too.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one that's in beta testing right now that we've built, and it was presented to me. And if I didn't know it was an AI, I would have never guessed in a million years. It was very impressive, very impressive.
You can configure your own voice to be the receptionist as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have an avatar that has my voice, and they're not, the avatars, I got to get better at it, but but it does sound like my voice. So if people are listening and they don't know me completely, even my friends listen to it and they're like, I said, is that me or not? And they're like, yeah, that's you. What are you talking about? And I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to, I want to tell people it's AI too. I don't want to be, hiding it behind it, but it's, it's pretty cool. So,
yeah.
One thing I think about with all of this is, without structure and control, the tools are just going to create noise, and with structure and control, you're going to get results.
Yes.
So you just have to be, pay attention and do it.
Vigilant in that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, my platform, it does have to be approved by a licensed insurance professional before use, but it does. You want to make sure that what is has been structured from the document that's been uploaded is effectively usable immediately. So,
great.
Absolutely. I mean, like I work with these guys, they're engineers, and been doing AI for years, and I feel like my background is domain expert. I've implemented, I've gone in and learned AI and everything for the last year, but my part is operations and bringing it in. And then I want to bring in engineers like them to be able to build, or because I do worry about safety and risk, and that's one of the most important things that we have to make sure that we're protecting.
Yeah. And one of the things that comes up with our member agencies is they talk about E&O, right? So they say, so if we're using an AI tool and we end up with an E&O exposure, is who do we blame, right? And they're always looking for someone else to blame. The reality of it is trust but verify, right? So
Yeah.
chosen a tool and you're using it, you're responsible. You're not gonna evade that E&O exposure. You're still on the hook.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where this human in the loop comes in.
Mhm.
AI can be your assistant. It cannot approve, especially insurance being a very regulated industry. The way any workflows should be designed and the way we design the workflows or using AI, we always introduce this human in the loop. Right? We make the life easier for the agent and the broker, but the final validation is always done by the human.
Yeah.
And always needs to.
Go ahead, Brianna. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just said it always needs to be that way. Always, you're the one sending out the certificate of insurance. You need to make sure the data is actually correct.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things. You can gather information. I mean, they had that CSR 24. Is that what it was called, Sue?
Yeah.
And so that just gave out standard certificates, and that's fine. And you can do that. But, if one of the questions should be, do you have a contract? Is there a contract with this job? Oh, yes. Okay. Upload it, because I need that. I can't give you a certificate without the contract. I don't think account managers ask that question enough.
No, they don't.
So, that's one of the questions, especially when they're asking us for additional insured or primary and non-contributory, whatever it is.
Waiver of subrogation.
Yeah. So, we need to see that contract. And so I think that's one of the things that you could put in before, do you need a certificate? You just need proof of your coverage, or is there a contract involved? Is there any special language? And then you qualify it. So so maybe there's a way to make it somewhat automated, like the CSR 24, but also maybe gathering more information than, so you have it before you're doing the certificate.
Yeah.
So
If you can reduce the manual data entry, though, that would definitely be it's going to
always.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we are almost there. We have five more minutes to go. I know we scheduled the initial part of the discussion for 45 minutes, and the 15 minutes was an optional demo. I don't think we have time for demo, but we are very happy to set up a follow-up call with any of you to show the product. Kristen has already seen our product, the workflows that we talked about. I think we'd be happy to set meetings with you, Sue, Brandon, and Amy, to really for a one-on-one call to show our product and see if it will help, or even just a general discussion of how AI can help your business, remove any of the inefficiencies or efficiencies. That'll be great.
that'd be great.
Interested in any follow-up call?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would
And
do that.
Sure. Absolutely.
Great. Yeah, we'd set up a call with you. What is the best way to connect? Email, LinkedIn, or
Either one is fine. Yep.
email? Okay. Yeah. So I'll send an email to you all, and we'll set up another call. Kristen, we'll work with Kristen on setting up another session. We were also thinking about a monthly session on bringing the latest in the AI space, marrying that with the insurance use cases, which we will notify you shortly. Thanks again for attending. Just want to, before we go, go with some key takeaways. Just wanted to get your feedback first on this session itself. What did you find useful? What do you think we should change for next time we do this, that will really help us, and then we can go with the takeaway. Amy,
So,
or Brendan?
I mean, I really liked it. It was a nice get together, and we all have things that we're all looking to resolve certain things, and what are the key takeaways? I would say that it was great connecting with everybody, but other than that, I would love to be I can come back and I would love to show you guys a demo. I mean, I have a 30-second demo, and then it shows the actual outcome if you request a copy of the full version of the actual layout of what was structured from a document that was uploaded similar.
I'd love to see it. You send it to my LinkedIn or something, drop it in there, or I don't know if you have my email, but I'd love to watch the demo. I'm watching every demo there is.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for my invitation.
So,
I want to see what Renaissance has got going on. I saw the article. I did this post saying congratulations, and then I got distracted. So I got to go back in and do it. I have my image and everything, Stu.
All right, I'll look for it. But
Great.
yeah, no, we'll get together and I'll share with you what we're doing.
All right.
All right, great.
does anybody have any other questions for me?
No, we're good. I just want to give a chance to Jerry or Ram to just say any closing words.
No, this is pretty useful, and Brandon, I love to see your tool too and see how it's been very useful for others, and connect with others to see how things are going. We are very excited to see actually hearing from you all to see what's the day-to-day thing. And we talked to, I don't know, like 25 agents so far, and every time we talk to someone, we get something new. And it's like, oh my God, like that's how people are using it, and we should, is there a way to change it? That's always comes to my mind. So anytime that we can talk to customers, it's always the eye opener. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys, everyone. I really appreciate it. I loved hearing everyone's stories. I definitely want to see the demos. And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate everyone coming to learn. It's very important. I tell everyone I see, upskill, upskill, upskill.
Yes, it's been my pleasure connecting with you guys. And yeah, it's always upsell. How can you do more with less data needing to be entered so your CSRs can get back ahead of the schedule? That's the whole goal I'm trying to resolve. Really, in the insurance industry in general, there's too much data. Or I'm sorry, there's too many documents from that data. So, policies. Yeah, there's a lot of data.
Great.
I would love to have the pleasure to be able to assist resolving that.
And
Yeah,
everyone
we'd
have
love
a
to see it
great
as well,
weekend.
Brandon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sue, Brandon,
you.
Christine,
Amy.
pleasure working with you. We'll do it another time. I'll connect with
Okay.
you on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you so very
Thank
much.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye. Hi, Kristen.